Welcome to my channel where we explore the rich history of Mercia. From the Celts to the Saxons, Romans and the medieval era, we'll uncover the stories that shaped this land. So if you enjoy history without the interruption of ads, please like and subscribe, then we can get started. Lady Godiva lived in 11th century Saxon England, a time of tension and transition as Norman influence loomed on the horizon. As the wife of Æthelflæd, Earl of Mercia, she was known for her piety and compassion. The people of Coventry suffered under Æthelflæd's oppressive taxes, and Godiva repeatedly pleaded with him to ease their burden. One evening, weary of her petitions, Æthelflæd mockingly declared he would lower the taxes only if she rode through the streets of Coventry naked. He expected her to be silenced by shame, but instead she accepted the challenge. Historical accounts suggest that she was not entirely nude. Rather, she likely rode in her linen shift, stripped of her finery, appearing not as an aristocrat but as one of the people. Her acts symbolized humility and sacrifice, as she shed the marks of her rank in solidarity with the common folk. Legend holds that the townspeople, out of reverence, shut their doors and averted their eyes. One man, later named Peeping Tom, is said to have defied this and was struck blind for his indiscretion. This tale, likely added later, adds a mythological lore to her ride. Her bold act moved Æthelflæd, and he lifted the oppressive taxes. The Norman conquest eventually reshaped England's social and political landscape. But Lady Godiva's legend endured, a rare instance of a Saxon woman remembered in an age when history was largely rewritten by the victors. Now, a word from today's sponsors. The Vikings. They're here to raid this history lesson and pillage your boredom. Did you know the Vikings didn't just raid coastal towns and cities? The earliest reference to Viking activity in landlocked Shropshire dates from 855. A charter of King Pigott of Mercia issued in that year mentions the recent appearance of pagans near the Wrekin Hill, but no other details are given. If you would like to find out more about the Vikings, please comment below. Skull. The village of Chetwynd, nestled in the heart of medieval England, whispered of the tale of Madame Pigott, once the Lady of Chetwynd Hall. She was said to be a woman of beauty and fierce will, married to the cruel and controlling Sir John Pigott. It was a time when England was under the shadow of Norman rule, and noble women had little power beyond what their husbands allowed. But Madame Pigott was not one to be silenced. She pleaded for mercy for the tenants of Chetwynd, who suffered under Sir John's harsh rule. Her compassion enraged him, and he sought to break her spirit. Madame Pigott soon found herself a child, a glimmer of hope amidst her suffering. Yet Sir John, consumed by his desire for an heir, cared little for her well-being. When complications arose, he was faced with a terrible choice: his wife or their unborn child. Coldly, he chose the child. Some say he locked her away in a high tower, denying her aid until she succumbed. Others whisper that, in his desperation, he cast her into the river to rid himself of the choice entirely. Whatever the truth, Madame Pigott was never seen alive again. But her spirit did not rest. The villagers told of a pale figure drifting through the ruins of Chetwynd Hall. Her sorrowful wails carried on the wind. Some swore they had seen her standing by the river, her spectral form half submerged, calling for justice that never came. Travelers passing through the village reported feeling an eerie chill and the weight of unseen eyes upon them. Horses reared for no reason, and dogs whimpered at empty doorways. One tale, passed through generations, speaks of a reckless nobleman who mocked the legend. One stormy evening, he rode to the ruins, daring the spirit to show itself. When he did not return, a search party was sent, only to find his horse wandering near the river riderless, its saddle torn as if from some unseen struggle. The nobleman was never found. To this day, on mislaid nights, the villagers say Madame Pigott still walks, searching for peace she was denied in life. and those who dare to mock her fate may find themselves forever lost to the shadows of Chet Windhall. Lady Æthelflæd, born into the lineage of one of England's most revered kings, was a woman whose legacy shaped the very foundation of a united England, though her name remains largely forgotten by many. The daughter of King Alfred the Great, the monarch who defended England from the Viking invasions and laid the groundwork for its future, Lady Æthelflæd's tale is one of strength, leadership, and defiance against overwhelming odds. Her life unfolded during one of the most tumultuous periods in English history, when the country was fractured and threatened by Viking invasions. Lady Æthelflæd's story begins in the late 9th century, a time when her father had risen to fame for his strategic brilliance and deep understanding of what was needed to secure the survival of his kingdom. However, it was Lady Æthelflæd who would come to carry that legacy forward in a way that her father may never have imagined for a woman. Married to Ealdorman Æthelred of Mercia, Lady Æthelflæd initially took on the role of a wife and mother, but her destiny lay beyond the confines of domesticity. When her husband fell in 911, Lady Æthelflæd stepped into the role of ruler. She did not merely act as a regent, she was a formidable leader in her own right. As Lady of the Mercians, she controlled the vast, volatile region between Wessex and the Northern Territories under Viking control. Lady Æthelflæd's reign was marked by her unyielding defense against the Viking forces, led by the infamous warlord Olaf Gudfrith's son, who sought to claim the lands of the Anglo-Saxons. Her military genius came to the forefront as she not only defended her territory but expanded it, fortifying key towns and cities, and establishing the famous burhs or fortified settlements. These fortifications, essential for the defense of England, became critical to the survival of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms against Viking incursions. She was no mere figurehead. Lady Æthelflæd personally commanded her troops in battle, fighting alongside them with unmatched bravery. It was through her strategic leadership that the Mercians were able to push back the Vikings, securing victories that would pave the way for the eventual reunification of England. Lady Æthelflæd's influence also extended to her brother, Edward the Elder, King of Wessex. Her military successes created a buffer zone that allowed Edward to consolidate power in the south, eventually leading to the triumph over Viking rule in the rest of England. Her legacy as the Lady of the Mercians was cemented when she died in 918, leaving behind a united kingdom that was well on its way to becoming a singular entity under her brother's reign. Lady Æthelflæd's death marked the end of a pivotal chapter in England's history, yet her achievements had already set in motion the transformation of a fragmented, warring collection of kingdoms into a unified nation. Though much of her life was overshadowed by the actions of her male counterparts, Lady Æthelflæd's role cannot be overstated. As a warrior leader and strategist, she played a crucial part in shaping the course of English history, fighting not only for her own kingdom but for the future of the entire nation. Lady Æthelflæd, perhaps the most powerful leader you've never heard of, remains a symbol of the strength and resilience of women in history. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to keep this channel ad-free. If you know any interesting stories, tales, or myths I should cover, please comment below.